As most of you guys know, I drive some crazy vehicles. But the strangest thing is probably that I drive my craziest vehicle every single day as my daily. Now, over the last 6 months, we spent a lot of time on the Camaro getting it roadworthy in its current condition. Right now, it's on a 3-inch lift kit and 33-inch tall tires. But there's one issue that I have not been able to solve yet. For whatever reason, this windshield has more grip than any 3M I've ever tested. I'm not sure what's going on here, but whenever it rains, this windshield holds the water so tight it won't let go and you can't see through it at all. And during the day, I can usually handle it just fine as long as the rain is not absolutely insane. But at nighttime, whenever other cars are passing by and their lights shine right into the windshield, it makes it almost impossible to see, and I'm tired of dealing with it. Now, I've already replaced windshield wipers on this thing multiple times, and it just does not seem to help. So there's got to be something more that we have to do to get this thing dialed in. Today, I bought a few extra products I've always thought are a scam to see if we can make that windshield practically invisible. Now, the products I got are super simple, super basic, and relatively inexpensive. I got their interior anti-fog for the glass, and then the main thing I wanted to test out is their water repellent for the windshield. This is basically going to put a protective layer on top of the windshield. Now, to be fair, the Camaro is worse than the untreated example they have right here, but hopefully this will work. And then to top all of it off, I got some Rain-X windshield wipers. Now, these wipers are probably $5 more expensive than whatever other ones you're going to find, but hopefully they'll work. Now, at this point, I'm willing to try just about anything because I'm so tired of driving the Camaro at night whenever it's raining and literally feeling like I'm going to die. And for whatever reason, the rain won't stop here in Tennessee, so it seems like this is a problem I'm going to have to face head on. Now, to get the ball rolling, what we're going to start off with is their water repellent. Now, this is supposed to be their easiest to apply version of this. They make tons of different versions. They make versions that are cleaning and they do the water repellent. They make versions that are in a little bottle, all kinds of different stuff. This seemed to be the easiest and it was only about $5. What I'm going to do first is clean off the windshield with just some traditional glass cleaner. After we do that, we'll apply this, and we're only going to do half of the windshield at first. And I really want to put to the test if there's going to be a noticeable difference, because in all honesty, I've always thought this is a scam. How long could it really last? So to start, I've got this thing covered with traditional window cleaner. We're going to wipe it down real good and try to get all of the dirt and film off of this before we try to apply the repellent. Now, we are going to clean both sides with the glass cleaner because it wouldn't be a fair comparison if we didn't, but we're only going to apply the repellent on one side to start. Like I said before, this windshield has more grip than any windshield I've ever seen. I mean, it is rough. It holds on to water like no other. And now that this glass is clean, there are a ton of little chips everywhere. So hard to pick up on camera. Let's see if this will, there we go. It is like this all the way across the windshield. Just little chips all the way across. But anyway, hopefully this sealant will be enough to fill these little cracks up and repel the water. Now, of course, with Rain-X, it's supposed to repel rain. We all already know that. But it is supposed to make it a lot easier to get mud off the windshield, bugs, and all kinds of other stuff. So basically just a general repellent. But for this, all we need to do is spray it on. And I know what you're thinking at this point. With so many Rain-X products, this has to be an ad for Rain-X. But I promise you, it's not. But we do have an ad from today's video sponsor, GetPair. Now, you all have seen GetPair on the channel many times in the past, but today we've got something that's a little bit different. This is an upgraded product from GetPair called Cast. Of course, it still offers the capability of wireless CarPlay in your vehicle that doesn't offer wireless CarPlay, and that works for any iPhone, iPhone 5, and above. But it also has a cast feature, which allows you to mirror exactly what's on your phone straight to your screen. First thing we're going to do here is remove our cord that we use for Apple CarPlay. We're going to grab our new device, and if you need USB-C, you've got it. For this car, all I need is the standard USB. Now that that's plugged in, we can shut this. Now, you can see that we've got two options here. We've got the CarPlay button or the mirror button. For now, I'm going to go ahead and click CarPlay. And just like that, I've got everything working for Apple CarPlay. You cannot beat that. The ease of use with this product is absolutely insane. But if we want to go beyond that, all we need to do is grab this and simply plug it into our iPhone 15 or newer. And now that that's plugged in, I'm going to click the back button, go back here, and I'm going to click mirror. Now I'm going to click next. What? No way. It even shows exactly what I'm recording right here. And as you can see with the cast feature, whatever is displayed on your phone is going to be casted directly to your head unit here, which is super cool. You can watch your favorite creator on YouTube, or you can go through to Netflix. You can go to anything that you want. Even if you go to your normal home screen, it's literally going to cast anything that you put on there. And then, of course, same thing as before. If you want to go back to CarPlay, you just click the CarPlay button and you are back to it. So if you're interested in getting this product for yourself for a killer deal, check them out down in the link in the description below. A huge thank you to Get Pair for continuing to support the channel. So we're going to do exactly what the directions say. We're just going to spray it on and wipe it off. This has a very, very strong alcohol smell. Now we're just going to wipe it off. And this windshield is so rough, just to give them the benefit of the doubt, we're going to apply this twice. I tell you what, if you work with this stuff too long, you probably start feeling a little different off of it. I didn't even realize it, but the wipers that I had on it were already Rain-X wipers, and they do not look that bad. And of course, as soon as I'm ready to test this, it starts turning into the best day that we've had all week. So I'm gonna wait a little bit to see if it's gonna start raining again. Otherwise, we can use a water hose. It's no big deal. But in the meantime, while we're waiting, let's go ahead and do the inside of the windshield with the anti-fog. For the inside here, we're practically doing the same thing. It's just a different application. Now to apply this, it says to squirt this onto a paper towel and apply it evenly, and then wipe it off with a paper towel. I find that strange that they're not saying to use a microfiber, but whatever the case may be, we're going to apply it right here. Now with that applied evenly all the way across, says that we are good to go ahead and wipe it off. I don't know how much elbow grease they want you to put in this, but that does not look like it's coming off easy. I don't know why they want you to use a paper towel, but if you just use a microfiber, it makes everything much easier for the removal.
Dad, I really have to tell you, there is 1,000,005 snails.
Where?
Out here, outside of the garage.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, I have to show you this.
I gotta finish wiping this off before it gets too hard to wipe off, okay? Then I'll come over there and look. Well, now that is all taken care of, and let me tell you, you have to use a lot of elbow grease to get this stuff off. But I think now it's good. Now it's raining a little bit again, so let's pull this thing out and see if we can actually tell a difference from the Rain-X repellent. Well, there's certainly no clear-cut difference from the inside. You shouldn't see anything in terms of just regular visibility, but it quit raining again, of course. So let's get out the artificial rain, spray it down, and let's see if we can tell a difference. So to be fair here, I'm not seeing a major difference. One of the major issues I was having is once the windshield wipers were turned on, whenever they would go, it would remove some of the water and then it'd bring half of it back. So let's see now if there's any difference. Now I was thinking maybe we'd see a difference with the windshield wipers on. It's definitely cleaning it really well now. Seems like it anyway. Both sides are clear. Now this is a pretty good indicator. So what you can see now, we've had the windshield wipers on and all that stuff. You can still see all the water puddled up on this side here, which didn't get any of the treatment. And then most of it is all gone here. So I guess maybe that is the most noticeable difference there. So this side is trying to dry off here. Whereas this side, I mean, the water is not really moving at all. Well, now it's a little later. I went ahead and sprayed the Camaro off in the rain with the pressure washer just to clean everything up. And once I got back inside, we've got some fog right where we applied the anti-fog stuff. Now, this one specific spot is the only spot that I dried off with the paper towel. So I'm gonna wipe it back down with a microfiber and see if that gets rid of it. But I thought it was very strange that that is the one spot that fogs. Now, I did have a lot of moisture in here. You can see these side windows that I didn't put any anti-fog on are like that. I am gonna put anti-fog on those. I didn't put any anti-fog on the rear either. So typically right now the windshield would be completely fogged up. I just need to go back over this one little section right here and we should be good to go. So at least it's good to know that the anti-fog does indeed work when applied correctly. Not using their instructions though. Obviously it definitely helps. How much is really the question. So what I'm actually gonna do now is go ahead and finish this side off here, get them all even, and then I want to take it down the road, test it over the next couple days to see if I can really tell that big of a difference. But in the meantime, I got to go ahead and change the oil on this thing. Well, I got done with the oil change and had a little bit of extra time, so I ended up doing something I've wanted to do to the Camaro for a long time now. I've got some Last Fit lights. That's the company that really helped me put all of this together, and I mounted them into the bumper. You can see I cut out the bumper there, or the front of the grille. There's really no other way to mount it. And I really thought this would look really cool, really slick, because they're recess mounted. The back of the light goes all the way to right there. It just looks really cool, really flush. This is gonna help us so much driving in the rain as well, just because of that limited visibility. And they look so clean. You really can't tell till you get down there on them. So I really like the look. And they are angled down a little bit, so that should help on the road. Not really getting many people's way, but still light up the road really well. Well, now I've got it applied to both sides, like I said. It's still raining a little bit here, and it's not really doing any of the self-cleaning I was hoping it would do from being so water repellent. But I can say, I don't know if it is the new windshield wipers or if it's a combination of the windshield wipers and the water repellent, but now, whenever you wipe, it really removes everything. So, I mean, it is much better than it was previously. Not even really comparable. It's super clear to drive in the rain, as you can see right now. It's not just sticking to the windshield and staying right in my field of view. So, that's nice. We got a car driving by right now. Let's see how bad it is. Not bad at all. As you guys can see, the difference in clarity is literally night and day. What a massive difference. I didn't expect it to make this big of a difference. Now it's about a week later and I've had a fair chance to test out pretty much all of the Rain-X products to its fullest extent. And I'm actually pretty surprised by the results. Now the first product, the Rain-X Spray-On Water Repellent, I really thought was going to make the biggest difference. It was a simple application. It was different than their traditional Rain-X where you spray it, let it dry a little bit and buff it off. This was a simple spray-on, wipe-off procedure, but it did work okay. Now really the amount of difference I noticed between the windshield before and the windshield with the Rain-X Spray-On stuff is it's like the whole windshield was clean, but the side with Rain-X on it was kind of like a clean side of the windshield versus the other side being dirty. That's really the biggest difference we got there. It did beat off a little bit quicker and it stayed drier at speeds a little bit easier, but still yet not a massive difference the way you'd think. But definitely worth it for only $5. Now, I was thinking that it would wipe off pretty much immediately, but the consistency stayed throughout the entire week. It probably is time to go ahead and reapply it. This is something you will have to continue to reapply if you want it to work correctly, but at least for a week, it's worked pretty well. The defog on the inside, actually worked really well. I had some issues at first with how I had applied it, but once I wiped everything down again, it actually made a bigger difference than the Rain-X on the outside. But what's going to make the absolute biggest difference really and truly is just getting a new set of windshield wipers. You wouldn't believe it, it's the simplest thing, but for $24, $25 a piece on these windshield wipers, they really make the biggest difference. You need to replace these windshield wipers every 6 months to a year, depending on where you store it, how much you drive it, but every 6 months to a year is a good rule of thumb. And in all honesty, you can look at them and think that they're good, but they could just dry up, and it's hard to tell. So if you are having issues seeing in the rain, you don't feel like your windshield wipers are working 100% perfect, go ahead and replace them. If you replace the windshield wipers, you get the Rain-X spray on, and you get some defog for the inside, I promise you'll be surprised by how much better your visibility gets with all three of those things put together. But if you guys haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you want to see next. But until then, Godspeed.